Professional services giant PwC, based in the City of London, claimed the bloc needs London because of the UK's position on the world stage. And John Garvey, PwC's global head of financial services, stressed any deal on financial equivalence would happen in the long term. Responding to comments made by the EU's Commissioner for Financial Services Mairead McGuinness, Mr. Garvey said, "There's going to be a strange relationship developing over time where the Europeans realise they need London. So, I think there will be some kind of deal because the continent will need access to the London market." I know there probably is an appetite on the UK side for us to sit down and get going. We are certainly very keen to do that, but we're not under pressure to do it. Ms. McGuinness said on Friday that Brussels wasn't under any pressure to help city firms access its market. Brussels and London agreed to a memorandum of understanding last month, which acknowledged that talks between regulators would help satisfy the EU's concerns. This would make Brussels more likely to grant market access to British firms, which is referred to as equivalence in a post-Brexit financial services deal. A new review by PwC said the UK was now the fourth most attractive growth target to global CEOs due to its post-Brexit position. The review, which surveyed 5,050 CEOs in 100 countries and territories in January and February 2021, revealed 11% of CEOs globally selected the UK as one of the top 3 targets, up from 9% in 2019. Kevin Ellis, chairman and senior partner at PwC UK, said, "The findings are a vote of confidence in certainty and stability,
which have undoubtedly increased on the trade front."
Brexit has seen British pensioners living in Spain straddled with soaring healthcare costs amid a rush to register under new residency rules. British expats who have not registered as Spanish residents now face a bureaucratic maze in order to obtain access to state-funded healthcare. Sue Wilson, chair of the campaign organisation Remain in Spain, has warned that UK pensioners have been hit with hefty medical fees as they await sign-off on their paperwork, known as an S1 form,
which would grant them access to the Spanish national health system.
Liz Truss has launched trade talks with Indonesia, as the UK looks to bolster post-Brexit ties with the $1.1 trillion economy. Currently, there is no free trade deal between Britain and Indonesia. For the past 18 months, a joint trade review has been conducted to establish ways to increase trade. On Monday, exploratory talks were launched between Ms. Truss and her Indonesian counterpart Muhammad Lutfi on agreeing a trade deal. Ms. Truss said, by 2050 Indonesia is predicted to be one of the top 5 economies globally. Brexit Britain has a bright future ahead of itself and should be less focused on Europe and instead turn its attention to Africa and South America, an expert has said. Senior fellow at Centre for Brexit Policy think tank, Catherine McBride insisted that Britain should not consider the EU as direct competition. Speaking to Express.co.uk, The Economist said the EU was now old news. She insisted new trade relationships should be focused on countries in Africa and South America. The Prime Minister has been urged to push EU nations to pay for their own defence through NATO rather than rely on the UK and US. Director General of the think tank Centre for Brexit Policy, John Longworth insisted the UK should no longer be paying for the protection of European nations. Speaking to Express.co.uk, Mr. Longworth claimed for too long EU nations have relied on the US and UK to protect them. He argued that as Brexit Britain moves forward, Boris Johnson must push the nations to pay into NATO adequately and be more self-sufficient. Britons have attacked the incompetent European Union as devastating new COVID statistics have been revealed in a report. Experts from Facts4EU, a pro-Brexit think tank, have warned citizens in EU countries are 15 times more likely to die of COVID than people in the UK, based on a 7-day rolling average. Express.co.uk readers shared their anger at the bloc for letting the death rates get so bad in its 27 nations, while the UK prioritised ensuring citizens received jabs to help beat the pandemic. One person wrote, "I do so hope that all EU countries look elsewhere for vaccines other than the EU system for their citizens' sake and get them vaccinated as quickly as possible." Another reader said, "No doubt they will try to blame Brexit and the UK for their own incompetence." German manufacturers have been hit by massive supply chain disruption in a blow for hopes of a swift economic recovery from the coronavirus crisis. A survey of manufacturing firms found that half reported disruptions to their supplies of parts or materials in the past month. The survey by the IFO Institute found levels of turmoil at their highest level in 30 years as pandemic-stricken businesses attempt to bounce back. Rising consumer demand, lockdown measures to restrict the spread of COVID and containing shipping delays have all blighted global supply chains. Brexit has helped the SNP take back control and could lead to the breakup of the UK, an Irish professor has warned. The May 6 election is being used by the SNP as a de facto vote on independence, with Nicola Sturgeon repeatedly threatening to rejoin the EU if Scotland goes it alone. If the SNP secures a majority, Ms Sturgeon said she will have the mandate to demand a vote on Scottish independence, just 7 years after the 2014 referendum. Professor Donica O'Beechan of Dublin City University said Brexit had, ironically, made the UK's union more unstable.